What is up, everybody? Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Tommy's Takes. I'm your host, Tommy G. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with me. And for that, thank you. Please like, subscribe, turn notifications on. We're going to be having the hottest Giants takes all season long on this channel. Thank you for all the love and support so far. We're just getting started here in Giants country. Tommy Takes. We've got some really cool stuff coming up for the season. And hey, we wrapped 2 weeks of training camp, right? 2 weeks went pretty quick. We've seen some interesting developments this week. Daniel Jones looked pretty solid. Looked like he was building a little bit of a rapport with Kenny Golladay. Seen some 50-50 deep balls going out there completed. Awesome to see from our $72 million man. That's why we got him. Never been a big separation guy. You're supposed to use your players to the best of their ability, so nice to see that in camp so far. Also nice to see some explosion out of Saquon Barkley. First season he's going to be healthy since his rookie year, essentially. That's going to be huge for us, especially if we're using him out of the backfield, putting him in motion, getting him into the slot, wheel routes. Definitely want him at his most explosive, so that's been awesome. Evan Neal, not as awesome. The rookie has had some struggles so far in camp. He's lost a couple reps. You got a couple with Jimenez he's lost. Thibodeau gave him a nice bull rush and a spin. I mean, listen, there's a lot of good talk about his struggles so far. Obviously, we've had some issues here with our offensive linemen. Not going to mention any names of draft picks, but listen, the kid's played left tackle for the majority of his career. I think the last time he played right tackle was his sophomore season at Alabama. It is not easy adjusting to the speed of the game, going against these speed rushers, grown men. You go from Alabama where you're playing against young men to the NFL where you're playing with grown men. So he's had some struggles. I'm not worried at all. I think he'll be just fine. One thing I liked about Evan Neal coming out of Alabama is he was a tactician. He did have good footwork. He did have good sets. He did have good techniques. Obviously, going from the left side to the right side, all that stuff kind of changes. Doesn't change completely, but there are tweaks that have to be made, and he'll make them. Not worried at all. I know we had some fun out there, some memes and stuff about him, but the kid's going to be just fine. Listen, if he's still playing like this and still getting blown by, in the third preseason game, then we might have some issues. For now, not even worried about it. Something else I really liked that I heard Brian DeBall speak about was, hey, if we run route concepts and they don't work, we scrap them. We're not going to sit here and, drill ourselves in the head and, hit our heads against the wall until it finally works and eventually it doesn't. I loved hearing that. He's like, what, if these route concepts are no good, we're trying different ones. I'm telling Kafka, get me a different one. We don't want to waste time with that. That was awesome to hear. Little bit of an issue with swing tackle right now as we had Gano went out with a neck injury. Looks like a pretty severe neck injury. I don't think he'll be back anytime soon with this team. Might even be a retirement situation. Thoughts and prayers out to him. Hope he gets healthy soon. But the swing tackle position has become a little bit of an issue right now. You're seeing Joshua Azudu there. Marcus McKeithen's in there. So you essentially have two rookies at swing tackle. And as Giants fans, you guys know very well that they've had issues with tackles and health. They've had issues with Nate Soldier's health. They had issues last season at guard with health. So it's not easy. The New York Giants really need a good season at the offensive line spot. You want to see health. You want to see depth. That's something that we've been raving about ever since Joe Shane got here, how he signed the interior lineman. But it only doesn't take much. It takes one or two guys going down and you're exposed. So wouldn't be surprised if they address the swing tackle position in free agency, low-end depth piece. So look for that there. Other than that, I thought it's been a pretty good camp. You're starting to see the guys starting to get round into form, especially Daniel Jones starting to look a little bit better. Saquon Barkley starting to look a little bit better. You're really going to see a lot more when you get into the Blue-White Scrimmage that's coming up. That's going to be exciting. First really in-depth opportunity to see the team in an in-depth controlled game setting. It's typically a full-speed event, which is nice to see. Very similar to a college scrimmage. You're going to have specific game situations. They're going to be putting some of their installs in. You're going to see a lot of the rookies. You're going to see some interesting matchups. One of the matchups I'm looking for is Neal versus Jimenez. They've had some issues going back and forth. Jimenez has won those battles. Thibodeau versus Thomas has been a really good battle, and Thibodeau versus Neal. You're going to see a couple of those matchups out there in kind of a live game speed situation, which is going to be awesome. Also looking to see Wink's creativity for the first time. We all know he likes to create pressure. He likes to bring pressure where you don't expect it, and his pressure is not always, okay, you have 6 blockers, I'm bringing 7 men. He could get really creative, and I think we see a glimpse of that in the Blue-White Scrimmage. Jones' chemistry with the wide receivers. We talked about this since last season. Wide receivers constantly injured. Jones being injured for the last 6 weeks, really not able to build up that continuity, that connection, that trust that you develop with your receivers, that when the game is on the line or it's 3rd and long or 4th down, you have to get, your guys are going to be on that hash at that spot. So really excited to see how that chemistry plays out. Tight end, I'm excited to see what we're doing with the tight end position. We got the rookie Daniel Bellinger's fighting for first team rep. Linebacker play, really interested to see how these linebackers perform in a game speed. Blake Martinez is back coming off of the ACL injury. Looks pretty good so far in camp, but let's see how he looks with live game speed. And most importantly, see these guys fight. See some dog in them. See them go at it. Obviously, we don't want any injuries. We don't want anybody trampling anybody. We don't want nobody touching the quarterback. But let's see some fight. Let's see some fight out of Evan Neal. Let's see some fight out of Kenny Galladay. Let's see some fight out of Adarius Slayton going against each other. I think it's going to be a great scrimmage. I think we're going to see a little bit of progress. It's going to be really our first glimpse into seeing what this New York Giants offense will look like, and the defense as well. And listen, this is it. We're starting to wind down here. We're heading to preseason game number 1. Again, 2 weeks of training camp in the books. It's starting to get to that time. Before you know it, the regular season will be here. Make sure you stay locked with Tommy's Takes. Please like, subscribe, hit the notification button. Your support and everything you give to the channel really means the world to me. And we're going to have some awesome stuff coming soon. Thank you. Have a good night.